As a responsible person with growing concerns for your privacy and personal liberty, you want to know where we're headed and what you can do about it. We ask the experts what you need to do to take prudent and responsible action to safeguard your family's wealth and well-being, and what basic first steps will help you to be aware and prepared. ReluctantPreppers.com.
Welcome back, Reluctant Preppers. We have an interesting first-time guest today. David Sidoo, the president and CEO of Advantage Lithium, is here with us to talk about some unique advantages that lithium provides in the marketplace and in technology and in our energy future, and specifically for those of us who are interested in energy independence, why it may be an important thing for us to be aware of. David, thank you for joining us here on Reluctant Preppers.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you very much.
Now, many of our subscribers on this channel are striving to increase their independence, and including off-grid capabilities that make them less dependent on infrastructure or on other potential needs that could be withdrawn in times of a crisis. Some people are looking for off-grid solar and wind power, and whenever you're dealing with electric power through alternative or renewable sources, the sources may be intermittent, and that brings a big focus onto storage. And that's one of the things we wanted to talk to you about, is for also for standby electrical power for emergency devices, such as radios or lanterns for providing light or communication or whatever. Energy storage is a big part of an independent picture and part of off-grid living needs. So where in that picture does lithium fit to enabling an individual real off-grid energy independence?
It's a very good question. I mean, the driving force initially for lithium and the price increase in lithium has been EVs, the electric vehicle phenomenon that you've seen with some of the major car companies. So seriously moving right now from history of hydrocarbons to electric vehicles. But power grid is a very, very important area and very strong market down the road and in the future. And for any off-grid energy strategy, you need energy storage. Even the grids need it. If you look at just recently, about a month ago, Tesla just won an enormous contract to help power California's grid using power packs, and that's unprecedented. Many times power's going out in California and stuff, and they want to mitigate that and fix that problem. And Tesla's been out there right now. They're grabbing all the headlines. As far as the electric vehicles and now with power storage as well. Lithium is a crucial component of the tech being used for most energy storage products. An example, again, like I mentioned, that Tesla's Powerwall product. If you look at that, it'll store enough energy to power a two-bedroom home for 24 hours. You couple that with solar, wind, or some other forms of power generation, and you have your around-the-clock power setup that's unlike anything we've ever had in history. So that market is going to continue to grow. And it's a really good question because you're going to require lithium for that. And there's only 4 or 5 producers in the world, one of them being one of the partners that we just engaged with on November 23rd.
So in addition to off-grid electric storage, how else might lithium play an important part in our future?
Well, one of the standards that I really look at, and I follow research quite a bit in my entire career, I'm the founding shareholder of Advantage Lithium, as you've mentioned. But I look at Goldman Sachs as one of the standard banks that I follow their research quite intensely. And, about 6 months ago, they had a very bullish opinion about lithium. They said that it's the gasoline of the future. And you look at batteries, energy storage, electric vehicles. You look at fleets, large buses. You look around the world with pollution, noise pollution, and a lot of these countries now are starting to mandate that the pollution gets decreased in their countries, like China and the UK. Electric vehicles, battery energy storage is going to be a big, big factor there. If you look at every major car company and manufacturer right now, they're starting to sell and develop electric vehicles. You've got billions of dollars being invested in the market. Countries are rolling out infrastructure to support EVs. China is doing it. The UK is doing it. 1 in every 4 new cars in Norway are electric vehicles. You're getting huge government support. As I mentioned, China, which has set a sales target for the industry of 3 million units in the system and in the market by 2025. You've got Volkswagen saying they're going to have 2 million units in by 2025. BMW, many of these companies are starting to now get involved, invest billions of dollars in electric vehicles. You're going to see a tenfold increase, and a lot of countries now are starting to offer subsidies that could total 60% of an EV electric car sticker price. So there's a real push in with a lot of different countries in terms of bringing these vehicles into the marketplace. Some of the numbers that show we're still at the start of this lithium boom. I don't think we're at the top. I don't think we're at the middle of the cycle yet. We've got an estimated 500% increase in battery consumption estimated over the next 10 years. Electric vehicle production by all these different countries I just mentioned are going to grow by over 45% a year, and energy storage demand is doubling each year. So it's a product that's going to be out there. It's a needed and required element in what we're doing and how we're moving forward with the world we live in.
And in that scenario that you described there, what role does Advantage Lithium intend to play in the future of lithium development?
Well, there's a lot of opportunity in this market for the right team and the right capabilities. Our team includes experts in exploration, development, and production. We've got a strong international base and excellent mining jurisdictions and strong exploration background. We've been able to take startup companies, and monetize the assets, raise the capital, enough capital to monetize these assets and move them quickly. And our focus right now is going to be in Argentina. We just partnered on November 23rd with Orocobre. And Orocobre is one of only 4 producers in the world right now. Argentina produces over 40% of the lithium, and Orocobre is one of 2 producers in Argentina, one of 4 or 5 in the world. Incidentally, 5 or 6 years ago, they were talking about all these lithium producers coming on, and there's going to be a big supply of lithium. Well, in the last 5 years, you've had only one company actually build a facility and produce lithium at the grade that Orocobre does, and that's Orocobre. So we're very excited about partnering with them. It's going to be a long-term partnership. We're getting 6 different exploration properties from them, 1 very advanced, 5 more exploration, 85,000 hectares, right in the middle of salars, not on the outskirts, where we can actually develop and produce lithium. You look at our partnership there, our key asset there is an asset called Kochari. It has a near-surface inferred resource of just under 500,000 tons already. 6 holes were drilled in 2012. We're going to start a 5-hole drill program early in 2017. We're going to spend $5 to $7 million over the next 2 years. Our exploration target there is anywhere from 500,000 tons to 5.6 million tons of lithium carbonate equivalent. That's probably one of the largest exploration targets that anybody has in Argentina. Our drill program, as I mentioned to you, will start beginning in the beginning of February, March of 2017. It's 5 holes. We already have them permitted, and we'll start to delineate that exploration target and make it more into inferred and measured over the next 3 to 6 months. In Nevada, we've got a 3-hole program that we're drilling in Clayton Valley Northeast. We've had 2 holes announced, very, very good results. We're drilling right next to Albemarle, which is one of the only producers in North America, and one of the 4 or 5 that I mentioned. So the asset base we have is very strong. The team we have is very strong, and we've got the capital raised to be able to bring these assets to monetization. So we're going to have a good news flow for 2017. And
for those who are interested in participating in the future of lithium, how can people, what kind of opportunities are present for people to participate, and how can they find out more?
Well, you can't invest in physical. Investing in physical exposure is not possible, but of course, investors can put money into companies operating at various stages of their cycle. They can go in the big caps, like the Albemarles and the Orocobres. They can go in mid-cap companies like ours, Advantage Lithium, that have a lot more upside to them. I mean, we've only got a $50 million market cap right now. Those big cap companies are $1 billion companies. I think what you've got to do is, as an investor, you've got to look at who you're investing in, the people behind the company, their ability to monetize and bring assets. If you look at our team, I was founding shareholder of American Oil and Gas. I built that company from scratch, right to in 5.5, 6 years, where we had assets in the Bakken, and we were bought out by Hess for over $600 million. You look at Deb Randall and Ross McElroy, they built Fission into a $300-400 million company and raised $200 million for uranium when no one cared about uranium. You look at Callum Grant, who's on our team. He lives in Buenos Aires, has worked all these salars in Argentina. So it's the people first. If they've done it before, they've got the ability to do it again. You look at the sector, lithium's hot. Lithium's going to be around for a long time. It's required in many, many different verticals that I've mentioned already. And then you got to look at the assets. Our assets are unparalleled in the marketplace. There's not a junior company in the small cap space that you can look at and say they have the quality of assets that we have that we just inherited from Orocobre. I think that's important. And if people want to get more information about our stock, our company, our team, the assets we have, they can go to advantagelithium.com, our website. The most important three metrics as far as an investor should look at is the people, the assets, and the ability of those people to raise capital and bring those assets to monetize those assets. I think that's very important. Just keep those three fundamentals, and I think you'll be fine.
And if you could return back then to the big picture of the macroeconomic environment and the timing in which this is occurring, a lot of our subscribers are concerned about runaway debt and sort of leveraged derivatives exposure that a lot of investment funds and that sort of thing have to such debt. In case there were a disruption in the broader economic picture, if you could address that just for a moment, how the diversity of the applications for lithium would tend to mitigate some of the risks. In other words, if it's used in multiple industries and different needs of different types, then does that lower the risk by broadening out the demand, the different areas from which demand can come from?
Well, you got to look at the last, I would say, 4 to 5 months, and you really see that lithium is impervious to any kind of political, geopolitical environment, interest rates, government policies. We've seen Brexit, we've seen the landslide victory by unheard of victory by Donald Trump, and gold has been bouncing around, and silver has been bouncing around, and given up a lot of the gains. But you look at lithium, and it's continued to stay stable between 10 to 12,000 a ton. So I would say that as an element in the marketplace, that's one of the biggest determining factors that this is a real long-term cycle that we're in. You haven't seen lithium price drop very much, and you look at our company, we're going to be fully financed over the next 3 to 3.5 years. We have no debt in our company. We're moving forward with monetizing all these assets. We're going to start drilling in February, March of next year, early, those first 5 holes. So we've got virtually zero debt. Once you start delineating these resources that we have on Cochari in Argentina, we're going to be able to bring in partners that want to invest with us. And in all our companies, we've had very, very little debt. And in Advantage Lithium, we don't have any debt at all. And I just think the whole supply-demand curve issue is very mitigated by all the different verticals and multi-use industries that lithium used in right now. So I agree with you that you look at a lot of these other big cap companies are highly leveraged. They've got a lot of debt. Investing in a small cap company like ours with strong management, zero debt, and very good assets is a smart thing for investors to at least look at.
So, David, in the face of these larger and more established market players that you mentioned, larger cap producers of lithium, why would Orocobre have chosen Advantage Lithium to partner with? What was it about you that brought a unique value proposition for them?
Well, I think I mentioned early on that Orocobre had many companies courting them about their exploration assets. And I think one of the keys was that our objectives are the same as Orocobra's objectives. We're company builders. We're not people that do 5 or 6 deals a year. We're a very focused management team. We've done it in the past. We've built companies. We've raised money and monetized assets. And we stick with our projects long term. So I think the philosophy and the objectives we had were the same. I believe that they know that we have the technical background that can monetize these assets in Argentina. And the deal we did with them was on 6 different properties that they have that are all their exploration assets, and one property that's more developed that I mentioned early on. And, when you go from a company like Orocobra that's $1 billion market cap company, and you go from exploration to production and cash flow, you get very little value for your exploration assets in the marketplace. So what we did was we partnered with them, and it's a true partnership. They did not sell these assets to us. They did not take cash out of the deal. We're raising all the capital right now to put into the marketplace. They will own 30% of Advantage Lithium. Orocobra will. They have 2 senior board members, Rick Anton and Richard Savelle, who's the CEO and president of Orocobra, will be coming on our board of directors. And management of Advantage Lithium and insiders and Orocobra will pool their stock for the next 24 to 36 months, which means we're restricting our shares from being traded over the next 2 to 3 years, as we believe that these assets that we're going to be working on in the next 12 months are going to bring a lot of value to shareholders, and we're committed long term. So I think the major metrics of the deal we've met, ticked all the boxes off. We've got great assets. It's truly a partnership. They're on our board of directors. They have a third of our company in shares. There's no money going in their pocket. It's all going into the ground, and we're going to develop these assets as a team together. And leveraging off everything Orocobra has done the last 10 years in Argentina is amazing. They've built a $200 million facility, and we're going to be able to use that facility to process our lithium that we produce at Cauchari. And that's very significant. No other company has that asset base and that opportunity to work with a big company like this. So we're happy about that, and we know that we can quickly get to production.
Well, David, we've had other producers on our show from gold mining, gold exploration, silver producers, and this is the first time we've had anyone like yourself that's talking about something that's going to be a major draw into not only technology, but the kind of technology that enables people to be liberated, to be basically off-grid, and to increase their self-reliance and energy independence, and it's been refreshing to have a new angle on how people can achieve independence. In this case, both energy independence and if they want to find out more about financial opportunities for participation, where should they go for more information?
They can go directly to our website, www.advantagelithium.com. There's all our management teams there, our assets, and also there's a lot of industry articles there substantiating everything that I'm talking about. We also have on our homepage the interview with Orocobra CEO Richard Savelle. It's a video call that Richard and I did with all the investors of Orocobra in Australia, describing the deal. And we've got our technical report, our NI 43-101 report, outlining Cauchari, its exploration asset size, its inferred assets, in terms of how many tons we have there. That's all on our website. And I think it's a good place to start for your people, shareholders and listeners, to go there and understand more about the industry and what Advantage Lithium is doing and why we feel we are the number one exploration team in this industry right now as far as a small cap company.
Well, David Sidoo, President and CEO of Advantage Lithium, thank you very much for joining us here on Reluctant Preppers.
Thank you very much.